welcome, everybody, to episode 46. It's 46, yeah, 46 of the Save State this fine Monday evening, the week of Halloween. And I'm joined tonight by Jason from The Construct. How's it going, Jason?
What's up? Good to be here, Bo.
Good to have you. And Yako from The Tech Update. Yako, we haven't seen you in a while. We're glad to see you tonight.
Very glad I can be back. It's a really awesome privilege to be part of this. So good stuff, man. Looking forward to it.
We love having you here. And so everybody go check these guys out on their channels. And tonight we're going to talk about, gosh, you know what? Tonight, here's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk, because I have to talk about this, but we're going to save it for a little bit later. We're going to talk about Halo, because I got to talk about this Halo news. It is, I'm not shocked, but it hurt my feelings a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. So we're gonna talk about that, and also an announcement that GameStop made this weekend as well. But we're gonna start tonight, just kind of since Halloween is this week. I want to start with talking about our favorite zombie games. I thought that would be a fun thing to just kind of chat about this evening. And I'll be honest, I had these grand plans of making one of these like tier maker lists with the little logos from each game and putting them up on the thing. But then I was telling Yako a few minutes ago that I had a 1 hour meeting today that turned into a 3.5 hour meeting, and that threw the rest of my day off because there's 2.5 hours I was not going to get back. So I did not get a chance to pull all those, because you gotta find all those logos and upload them yourself to the tier maker thing. So I was not able to do that, but we can still chat about it, because you guys let me know some of your favorites, and so we'll just take a look at all of them. And also, like, Falcon was going to be here tonight, Falcon Tactics, and he sent me some games, and then he had a family thing that got in the way, and so he had to cancel. And Yugi sent me some games, because he's probably played more zombie games than anybody I know, and he's working the night shift right now, so he couldn't be here either. So anyway, we're gonna start there. Unless you guys got something else you want to talk about.
No,
about zombies.
No, we can get into it. I think it's
all right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Right. Well, Yako, I'm going to start with yours, man, because you told me you're not a big like zombie game fan. You haven't played too many, so you only gave me a couple. What were yours?
So the first one was the original, as far as I'm aware, mod onto a game that was a zombie survival type of thing. Was on the Call of Duty 5 World at War, the Nazi zombie map, where you had waves of Nazi zombies coming into an old abandoned building, and you and your comrades had to defend it with World War II weaponry. And if you did really well, at some point you got a ray gun, an alien ray gun, which was pretty cool.
So can I tell you a story about that real quick? I played that game came out when I was still a bachelor, and I lived with this friend of mine, and he had an Xbox 360, and so the day it came out, he was a big COD fan. The day it came out, he bought it, picked it up, brought it home. We played it for a week or two or whatever in co-op, and we beat it together. And we get to the credits at the end, and this screen comes up. It's like foggy, and you see like this silhouette of something walking towards you out of the fog. And I said, "Is that a zombie?" And he was like, "No, this is COD." And then lo and behold, it was a zombie, and it nobody knew, because this was before social media and everything. Just you knew everything day one about a game. We had no idea that there was a zombie mode at the end of that game. So
that was pretty epic.
It was crazy.
That was the first one I ever played, and we played that a lot at LAN parties. It was really brilliant. Trying to make the highest levels. Found this one little corner in the building where you had to sit down all together, and the grenade spawned right behind you. So only at that place. get up to level 40 or so.
It's just history.
Other one.
Yeah, they later brought out more maps. We had to run around and get specific drinks like a cola that gave you a boost in. You could take more hits, so you could run faster, reload faster. So they brought out other maps. What was it? An asylum. And later they had like hellhounds, like these dogs out of hell that spawned. That was pretty crazy because this thing would spawn right in front of you and be right in your face. So yeah, but that was good. Yeah. So that was the original one I played. Enjoyed that quite a lot at LAN parties. And then Plants vs. Zombies. I love that little game. The original one. The second one was good, but it didn't feel as good as the first one.
I've never played that. Everybody who's played loves it though. I never played it.
Really cartoony, funny tower defense sort of thing. You had to use plants to defend against waves of zombies in like a grid style layout, 2D flat layout. So that was pretty cool. One of the best was in like the where there wasn't a limit on the waves. You could eventually use your little corn plant to create a corn cannon. If you put two of them next to each other, and this corn cannon could fire anywhere on the map. It's pretty good.
Nice.
So fire the big piece of corn into the sky and it lands on the zombies somewhere. It's like a nuke sort of thing. It was pretty good. I enjoyed that. And then very long ago, I played Left 4 Dead. You 4 survivors having to make it through a map to an extraction point, and there's all of these zombies all over the show.
Yeah.
So those are the ones that I played. Never enjoyed those on LANs. Since I've been married, my wife doesn't like the zombie games either, so haven't played it a lot since then. But those are the ones I enjoyed.
Yeah, Left 4 Dead was fun. I mean, I feel like co-op games have gotten less co-op over the years. I just remember, playing something like Left 4 Dead with a couple of buddies and just screaming at the top of your lungs. That's what it's all about, right? Just kind of experiencing the madness of the game together.
Right. Yeah, for sure. It's so different now.
Yeah, it's really different.
Like we're old enough that our friends don't like. It's hard to get your schedules lined up to play a game.
That's the
friends
problem.
Our age,
Yeah. What are you doing next quarter?
Yeah.
You open next
awesome.
Yeah. What are you doing on February 17th at 8:45 p.m.? Yeah.
That's about how it goes, eh? Unless you're a bachelor. If you've got buddies who are bachelors, they play a lot.
Yeah. Good times. The good old days.
Yeah, the good old days, eh?
All right. So Jason, what were yours?
I have a list, and I went out of my way to make sure that I put some flat games in my list.
You know what? I appreciate that you did that. I did too. I was like, Jason's gonna put all the VR zombie games on his list.
Exactly. So I got 4 solid games that I would say are like my best favorite zombie games, and they don't date as far back as like Left 4 Dead, like Yako mentioned. But I'll start with the oldest one first, and that's Resident Evil 4. I've played Resident Evil 4 almost on every system it's come out on, and it's come out on a lot of systems since its launch. But it was just like, because I played the original Resident Evils like 1 and 2 and whatnot, and 4, it's just like the action take that it took just made it fun. It made the zombie shooter fun. I feel like zombie shooters were always kind of like, you just kind of felt like you were, so scared. You only had 2 bullets. You can't save. It's just kind of, it was always so like limiting. So Resident Evil 4 gave you like the same type of like despair, but it kind of gave you an arsenal to just really just have some fun. Like once you got really good at it, you were just having a complete blast with it. I loved it for that. One of my favorite GameCube games, to be fair. Yeah, one of my favorites. And I'll say the other flat game that I mentioned was The Last of Us. Now I know technically they're not zombies in the traditional sense, the whole cordyceps mushroom concept that it's actually scientifically happens with insects. I don't know if you guys knew that, but yeah, they used a concept where there's like a fungus that will infect insects and then kind of reanimate the insect. So they used that, but they did it with humans in the game. But anyway, I liked Last of Us for its ability to make you feel powerful and desperate at the same time. It's like you were frightened that a zombie was gonna, or a clicker, if anyone's familiar with playing Last of Us, these really strong zombies that they were like, if you got close to it, it would pretty much take you out. So your shots had to be super accurate. It was just a very, very nicely done concept of the gunplay, and then just the being able to survive in this world. I have 6 bullets. I got something I can throw to distract one or whatever. Just well done. Just I loved how it was executed.
I've never played it, but the storyline apparently is pretty good.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah. It got its own show on was it HBO or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
HBO.
So it's emotional. Yeah, it just kind of checked a lot of boxes for a lot of people, I'd say. And it's up there in the zombie realm,
Yeah, I think it counts.
I think it counts. I think it counts.
I agree.
All right, so VR. Of course, you can't mention VR and zombies without Half-Life Alyx. So
yeah, I was sure you were gonna.
My favorite game, Half-Life Alyx.
Bo's favorite game keeps coming back to haunt him. Yeah, so it was one of my first obviously experiences with VR, like back in 2020. One of my early experiences, I should say. And yeah, it's just really cool. I mean, there's probably, if you go on YouTube and search for Half-Life Alyx, you'll find documentaries on why the game is so great. So I don't really have to go into it very, very much here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great game. Great game.
Well, I'm not going to argue with you. It is a great game. It absolutely is a great game. And honestly, it's real close, I think, to my top 4. It's probably like, and I haven't even finished it, and I can't stand it. I don't like. It makes me a nervous wreck. It's terrifying, but it's still a really good VR game.
Yeah, it's just so well done, and to think that it's been almost 6 years, it's really crazy to think about that. While we're on VR, the other one is The Walking Dead: Saints and Sinners. This was by Skydance, and it's a really well VR game because they put you in a position where they took some of that power away. So while like Resident Evil 4 gave you like a lot of agency and a lot of action, Saints and Sinners was a VR game, and they added weight to all the weapons. So if you picked up an axe, I don't know if anyone's ever held an axe before, ever like chopped wood. Axes are heavy, right?
Yeah.
So they don't let you just kind of like swing it around like it weighs as much as like a paper straw. When you pick it up, it kind of like pulled your arm down unless you held it with 2 hands, and then you could properly hold it up.
Yeah.
And it just kind of gave you this feeling that you were in this, and that you had to make these decisions where it's like, okay, I see 2 zombies. I'm not strong enough to fight 2 zombies with a heavy axe. One of them's going to get me because I can't swing that fast. So I have to make a decision about what I'm going to do in this like corner of the map. This is a really cool game. I always love games that actually bring something new to it.
Something real.
Yeah. And then like, it's more than just kill the zombies. It's, you have to think a little bit and figure out how you're going to make it out of this area without disrupting too many zombies, because you're still human. You're not like Dom from Fast and the Furious. You're human.
That guy gets more and more superhuman every movie.
Exactly.
He's gonna beat Chuck Norris one of these days.
Seriously.
He's working on it.
Yep. So those are my 4.
Okay.
Well, one of the thoughts that came up to me with like The Last of Us and Left 4 Dead. What I loved about those games is the idea of what would you do in that type of scenario. How would you live? How would you survive? And I think that type of realism that you were talking about, like with the axe, might make it pretty good.
Absolutely.
That was always the attraction to me, not how scary the zombies were or whatever. It was, it's been like the TV series for Saint and Sinners, that game. Now my brain is eating a blank.
Oh, The Walking Dead.
Walking Dead, the TV series. I watched quite a bit of it, but the downside of these games for me is always the fear. I'm not crazy about fear. Anything that's fear based, but like, I mean, I really enjoyed the co-op of the Call of Duty zombie map.
You're not alone, Yako.
Then you're not alone.
I there you go. But I do play zombie VR games in the daytime when someone else is home.
I can imagine. after watching
Smart
the Will Smith movie,
I Am Legend.
Oh yeah,
I Am Legend.
Yeah,
sure. I remember we watched that thing at night, and then after watching it, wind was blowing stuff around outside. He's like, "What was that?" So that was the feelings that movie generated was so intense.
I always tell people the problem with VR is like, it's already hard enough to play scary games. It's on flat screen. The problem with VR is that you can't look away.
Yeah,
it's like on a flat screen, it's like you're still sitting on your couch. You still see your bag of chips right there or whatever. But in VR, it's like you see something scary and you're in the dark and you look away. It's still dark. You look back, the zombie's still coming. It's just it's like it's intense.
Yeah, it's true.
Absolutely.
It's very true. I've been sitting here trying to download the logos for all these games y'all are saying so I can put them in the tier maker list.
No problem. Have you guys? It's a bit of a side note, but have you guys ever played the Slender Man?
No,
it's a horror-based
that
game.
Fear thing. You just mentioned.
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't want to play. I don't want to play that.
If you ever want to laugh, just Google reactions to Slender Man. Because it's just completely based on fear-based. You're walking around in this forest, gathering clues. There's scattered buildings, but the Slender Man is some kind of urban legend, and then they'll just flash him behind a tree when you're looking in a moment. When you look away and then look back, he's not there again. And then after a while, he's just all up in your face all of a sudden.
Yeah, that would be catastrophic in VR. I wouldn't even want to.
Yeah,
I couldn't imagine.
Yeah. But they really build on that. It's quiet. There's no music, and then when you see him the first time, you start hearing this and it kind of builds slowly, and then all of a sudden he's there. So it's like, it's a pretty intense horror game. I've only seen it being played once or twice. I haven't really played it myself, but it's quite, the reactions to it are quite funny as well.
Yeah, I bet.
Two girls playing Slender Man or whatever. It's quite funny.
It's funny you mentioned like the tactics they use. Like you're looking for something. They always seem to like make you busy before they actually start to turn the fear up. One of the games that does that is an honorable mention, I guess, of this list. They're not really zombies, but there's a game in VR called Into the Radius, and it's kind of like a paranormal type of thing, but they went all in on like the VR mechanics, where instead of like an inventory where you can just pick up something and it's automatically in your inventory, you have a backpack, and when you pull that backpack forward, there's an empty space in it, and you put those things in the backpack, and those things have to fit into that space, so it's more real. And then like you might find a couple of rounds of ammunition on the ground, so you might have to pick it up and put it into the cartridge. But it'll catch you like you'll be doing that. You'll find like a couple of bullets on the ground, and you're like, oh, you know what, that's great. I need a couple of rounds. I'll put these in this magazine. And while you're fumbling around trying to put rounds into this magazine, you hear like something rustling in the bushes next to you, and it's like, oh, here we go. Like, what do I do? Do I defend myself, or do I keep trying to
keep loading
fix my weapon or whatever? Yeah. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Did you either of you ever play? I never played it. Zombie U. It was a Wii U release title.
No,
they ported it. eventually, but it was kind of like that where you had to look down. Like if you were going to search through a bag, you had to look down at the Wii U gamepad and search through it, and you couldn't see what was coming, and they would sneak up behind you while you were searching through something. It was a pretty cool concept, especially at that time, I think.
That's cool.
But I never played that one. Unfortunately.
Sounds pretty good.
It's not something I would have signed up for, to be honest.
I remember based on the whole fear-based thing. It's not also not a zombie game, but the original Far Cry had mutants in. I remember playing that late at night, and you're walking through the forest in this open world map type of thing, and these things are out here somewhere. And while you're walking, they just play this little sound like, it's like, oh man, what's gonna happen now? It really brought you into that world.
Right.
And they did it very well. So all of these tactics that the guys are using to get you engaged. It's pretty good. I could imagine in VR it's much more intense and much more real.
It's interesting.
That's
interesting. There's a moment that, and again, this was early in my VR gaming time. It was a head crab zombie in Half-Life Alyx, and I had a shotgun. I had gotten into that part of the game, and but you load the shotgun shells individually into your gun. And I'm kind of still relatively new to VR. It's the middle of the pandemic or whatever, and I'm just clumsy. So I reach over my shoulder and get some shotgun shells, and then I let go of the grip button. I drop the shotgun shells. But the zombie's kind of coming toward me the entire time. So I have to, and this is the thing about VR, I literally have to kneel down onto the ground and pick these shells up with my hand while the zombie's schlepping towards me. It was
really intense.
It was really crazy. Yeah.
Oh man. It is crazy.
No, I can
my
imagine.
Wife's
that
what are you
be
playing? I'm sweating and stuff. She's like, what are you doing?
That's funny. That's really funny.
Talking about getting engaged into games. I don't know if I've ever told you guys about this, but I knew a buddy. It was a buddy of a buddy. So way back when computers came out. This is really way back when. On some of the original 486, they had Star Wars game, TIE Fighter. So flight sim. And he was talking about one of his buddies getting so engaged that when the TIE Fighter actually flew over his ship, he would turn and look behind him.
Oh man, yeah, 100%. I think I had a realization moment like that in VR once. No, actually, it was flat. It was flat gaming. I'll talk about flat because I'm always talking about VR. But the first time I was a bachelor and I invested some money in a 7.1 Dolby Digital surround sound.
Ooh.
It was fantastic, and I set it up in my apartment, and I was playing Gears of War, I think, so it was a flat game, and someone shot a boom shot at me, but it missed, right? But the sound coming from the northeast part of my apartment to the southwest, it literally made me flinch, like something had just flown over my head, because it just sounded like something was flying over my head. It was really cool.
I've never had the privilege of gaming in 7.1 surround. I'm pretty sure it was only movies that way.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was only working in 5.1, but I was a bachelor with a paycheck, so I bought the biggest thing I could get. So.
Yeah, when you're bachelor, right?
Yeah.
No, it's
spend my money on.
No, it's brilliant. Surround sound is awesome.
Yeah,
that was a pretty cool concept that they brought in.
It's kind of a dying thing. I don't have a surround sound system set up right now. Everything's on headphones or something. You just don't see a lot of receivers and speakers set up.
No,
it's just bulky. I think obviously that was the death of it, is that it's a lot of setup and takes up a lot of space, cabling, Nowadays, people don't like cables.
Yep.
You know, obviously, I'm pretty sure there's a wireless system out there somewhere, but
I have one that's a single cable, but the subwoofer is wireless. But I don't have it set up like a. I don't have it set up like a. I just have it set up stereo. I don't have it set up surround sound. But it's only 5.1, so it has a really long sound bar, like a really long one, and then it has 2 separate side speakers that you're supposed to put behind you, and then you put the sub kind of wherever. But I just have them all on by my TV. I just like this. I just like the stereo spread. I don't need it to surround me.
Yeah. My problem is that surround sound. Like, if I really want it set up proper, then it's like my whole house can hear what I'm doing because it's just so much sound, right?
Sure.
So it's like I need a basement or something that I could do that in. It won't be
soundproofed basement, eh?
Yeah, exactly. That would be nice.
Yeah. Man cave, man. Big dream. One day.
Well, I almost have
all of the logos.
I almost
I thought you were gonna say I almost have a man cave, but
no, I don't. This is what I have. I have this 2.5-inch nook right here. That's what I have. Not 2.5, 2.5 inch, 2.5 foot nook right here is what I have.
Yeah. We have like an upstairs like den area, like kind of a TV sitting area, and my wife said it can be like Man Mountain because it's upstairs. Thanks, honey. Thank you for that.
What would really be a big dream, awesome dream for me is a man cave treehouse. I've been dreaming of a proper like treehouse, like some of the treehouses they do in Treehouse Masters, like a proper treehouse. Imagine that being a man cave as well.
That would be crazy.
Obviously,
cool.
You have to be far out the way, otherwise the whole neighborhood would be listening to what you're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Okay. I'm submitting this. Let's see if it works. And we'll tell you mine. While I see if it works, I guess I'll tell you mine.
Yeah, you didn't tell us yours.
There probably should be more images on this, but it did work. So I'll go ahead and show it to you.
Okay.
Because we only have 16 things to choose from here. There's so many other things. Where is it? Yeah, that's it right there. Mine. So I've got a couple of Resident Evil 4 for sure is probably my favorite. If I was gonna make my own like ranked list, I've played that like you said, Jason, on just about everything it's come out on. My favorite version is still probably the Nintendo Wii re-release with the pointer controls.
Yeah, I can see that.
It was really fun and so precise with those controls. Now the Quest port is version, also really good. It's really good.
I think it bumped the Wii version off for me when it released on Quest. Yeah.
So Resident Evil 4 for sure is one of mine. Also, I'm gonna say I really enjoyed the goofiness of Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville, because it was not the classic Plants vs. Zombies where it's just like it's basically like a 2D thing. It was a full 3D, like almost like an action adventure, third person adventure game. I really enjoyed that one. I thought that was fun. I'm gonna do more than 4 because I just added some extra ones here. I consider Fortnite a zombie game because originally that's what it was. It was a zombie wave attack game where you had to set up defenses and
really, I didn't know that.
It was. And the history of Fortnite is super bizarre. I've thought about so many times making a video about it because nobody ever talks about this, but it was, and I don't know if you know this or not, but when they announced Fortnite, do you know where they announced Fortnite?
Nowhere.
They announced it on stage at an Apple keynote.
Okay.
Wow.
And they made a huge deal. Like they gave him like, I don't remember, probably around 6 or 7 minutes of stage time to show off the game and showing it running on Mac. And then, years later, they had that big feud in court, and that was a whole big thing. And I never saw anybody in all the coverage of that mention the fact that game was originally announced. They brought Epic Games Studio president or whatever out onto the Apple stage and announced this game and showed it off running on Mac and running with I think it was like around the time that Metal became a thing, so they were showing it doing that. But that's what it was originally. You were building up your defenses. That's where the build mechanic came from, around your house or your bunker or whatever to stave off this zombie attack. There was a whole like story and stuff that went along with it. So I'm going to count that. And then I'm also going to count Halo, because I kind of think of the flood as being like a zombie parasite kind of a thing. I don't know if I should count it, but it's my show, so I'm going to count it.
I don't know the Halo game at all. So, but yeah.
I mean, like in the original Halo, you've got the
flood,
the Covenant are dead, and the flood come in, and they wake up.
Okay. Okay.
So that's a zombie to me. So I'm gonna count Halo. And then a couple of Half-Life Alyx is really good. But a couple of other VR games that I personally really liked. I have not played Saints and Sinners. I need to get around to playing that at some point.
Yeah, you might not like it.
I'll probably hate it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I've really enjoyed the Drop Dead series. Drop Dead Dual Strike is like this super campy, like 1960s B movie horror film villain. I loved everything about it though. Like I love the just the campy goofiness of it, and I thought it was a really fun. It was just I just thought it was a really a fun game, and they found a way where you repeat levels, but every time you have to repeat a level, it is different than the time before because there's time travel involved in the game, and so I just thought this is a really interesting way to not have to spend time making multiple maps, but going at each map a different way every time. And then Drop Dead the Cabin, the sequel, the part about that I like is the mixed reality mode, which I've made a video or two about. I just like the fact that you're in your house or whatever, and they're trying to break down your door and get to you, and
it's pretty cool.
That's
quite cool.
It's crazy, but it's fun. It definitely gets your heart pumping, and you do turn around and there's something right in your face, and you're like, "What?" And you
I recorded some footage of me playing that game in our kitchen, and I sent it to my parents, and my wife is like cooking while I'm like shooting down zombies around her. She has no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah, right.
That must be quite fun.
Yeah, it was really funny.
Oh man, yeah. So that's what we have. We got. Yugi had sent in 7 Days to Die. I've never played that game, so I don't know much about that one.
Me neither.
He sent either him or Falcon sent left. No, one of you guys said Left 4 Dead. Somebody said State of Decay. Falcon said the Walking Dead, the Telltale series.
Yeah, the Telltale series. Have you guys played those? Oh my gosh,
I haven't played.
You guys would like those.
I've played Telltale series games, but I haven't played that specific one.
Okay, yeah, the Walking Dead ones are pretty good. I mean, especially if you followed the show at all, but like because they had the characters from the show, but yeah, some of the it's one of those Yako, for your info, like it's one of those like decision making games where like you kind of start you walk around a map, you do things here and there, and it's mostly based on like what you say to people. The decisions you make will like change the outcome of like the next scene or the ending or whatever.
Like somebody will say something and they give you 4 options of ways to respond or whatever, and how you respond determines what happens next. So it's kind of like a choose your own adventure book, but in a video game format.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Like the original RPG, sort of like Curse of Monkey Island type of thing.
Yeah. Sort of like that, but less action, I would say. Or I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, like you're not actually, you're not doing a whole lot. It's a lot of watching, but but the stories can get really, really like intertwined, and it gets really crazy. Yeah,
that sounds interesting. I honestly didn't know about Fortnite, but it makes sense if you look at the name Fortnite. I'd love to be able to play that, just build up defenses and defend against waves of stuff.
I don't even know if it's available anymore.
It isn't, as far as I know.
It was the save the world mode. They used to have you. You used to be able to select it from the menu, but you had to pay like $15 for it or something. It was pretty cheap, but that's what it was. And there was no battle royale in the original game. Like that wasn't part of the plan. But that's what they added that, and they found success, and so then they leaned into that, and they kept leaning into that. So, you used to be able to get V-Bucks from completing game challenges in the
Save the World.
In the Save the World mode.
I remember Save the World when we started playing Fortnite, but now I don't think it's available. It's just a mod, possibly one of the maps that somebody has.
I don't know. I don't know if it went away or what. But another one Yuki had said that I have never heard of is this Project Zomboid. I don't know anything about that game.
Heard of it, but never played it.
And then I also added Zombies Ate My Neighbors, which was an old like Super Nintendo game that I thought was really good back in the day. It was pretty fun. All right, so that's what we have.
What goes?
Does anybody know 7 Days to Die? I don't know that game.
Not at all.
I don't.
I figured none of these are C's. If we're saying that these are great games.
Yeah, I think they're probably like, probably A's. B's or A's. 7 Days.
Battle for Neighborville. I don't know.
I've never played it.
I need to think about it. COD Zombies. There's so many of those. I just downloaded one image, but I'm gonna go ahead and at least give it an A because Yako, you said that, and Yugi said COD Zombies as well, and
definitely.
And Falcon said COD Zombies, so maybe it's S tier.
Okay.
Probably. I think a lot of people would agree with that.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
All right. What about... I know these aren't the greatest, so I'm just going to put mine, even though they're my favorite. I'm going to put them down here on a B tier.
The Cabin sounds pretty great. I think it sounds like an A at least.
Yeah, I think we could probably push the Cabin to an A just for the mixed reality. But
it's so cool.
It's just really cool.
It's still one of the best like examples of mixed reality done right, I think, that we have.
Okay.
Yeah. If anybody's watching, check out Bo's videos on the Cabin. It's really cool.
Hey, thanks, man. Yeah. Appreciate that. We do have some people watching. Hey, by the way, let us know in the comments what your favorite zombie games are. Because we would love to know. Halo. Does anybody you can disagree with me? Does anybody agree with me that Halo is a zombie game?
It has to stay low. I don't know if we can put maybe because it's gonna have to stay in the C. It's kind of a stretch.
Sorry, guys.
It's a little bit of a stretch.
It's not a C game, but just as a zombie game, it has to stay
just as a
C.
zombie game. Yeah,
and I am talking about the original Halo. Like there's a kind of a creepy horror vibe there when you first are discovering the flood.
Yeah,
the music's kind of got like a horror-ish tone to it. Like
okay,
yeah.
Half-Life Alex. Jason, I'll just go ahead and put that.
For Jason, it'll be there. I'm sure.
I'm gonna say it's S tier. It's S tier.
Okay,
at least,
I'm gonna agree with you. I think it's
from the sound of it. Yeah.
Left 4 Dead. I don't remember who said Left 4 Dead.
That's B. I'd say B. It's
B.
okay.
It's a B.
Okay. Resident Evil 4. Whew.
It's a GOAT for me. I'm sorry.
For you.
It's a GOAT for me. Yeah.
Look, I'm gonna put all the potential goats. I'm putting up in the S, and then we're gonna decide what the goat is. Okay, we'll decide that here in a minute. State of Decay.
Don't know it at all. Unfortunately,
who said State of Decay?
I think it was probably Yugi
from Falcon. Or Yugi.
Falcon said State of Decay. Yeah.
I love the concept. I haven't played it a lot, but it's kind of that same kind of like you're out there, zombies are coming. You can set up defenses or try to like head out and make it somewhere else. It's kind of survival. It's a very interesting concept. So it's
okay.
It's at least a B.
Okay. I agree.
Yeah.
While I'm thinking about it, before I forget again, the Metro series, like Metro Awakening, that's not a zombie game.
That's not really a zombie game.
That old mutant horror thing.
Yeah, they're alive. They're like mutated things from the Fallout, right? So
they're mutated. They're not zombies. They're mutated. Yeah. Okay. All right. So The Last of Us.
That's got to go up pretty high, at least from the sound of it.
At least an A.
Just the idea intrigues me.
The story gives it an A, even if you don't like the game. The story puts it in an A.
Okay, I can live with that. The Walking Dead Telltale series.
Telltale.
No,
yeah.
I don't know anything about it.
I played the first season. I think I played part of the second season. Season 1 was great. I mean, it was really emotional. Yeah. It might have
my problem with it is that it's not really a game.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a walking narrative.
Yeah. It's an interactive book.
It's an interactive book.
Okay, so
I think that deducts points for me.
Then that keeps it out of the A column because it's not an actual game.
But so I believe you when you say the story is amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so Walking Dead: Saints and Sinners, that is a game.
Yeah. It's S tier for a lot of VR fans.
I hear about it all the time from VR people. They're always talking. I feel like they're always talking about it.
It's got good story, good voice acting, balanced zombie interaction. It's pretty good. It's really good.
And then Planet Zomboid, Yugi had said that was one of his top 4. I literally don't know that I've heard of it. It like sort of sounds familiar.
But
I just looked it up
really
a little bit. It looks like it's like a top-down kind of like Sims angle.
Top down, that's interesting. A top down.
Okay, is it a strategy game?
Hold on, let's see. It's open world.
Okay.
An open world top down game?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That sounds interesting.
Huh. Yeah, you loot, build, craft, fight, and farm and fish.
Fight, farm, and fish.
It's got me interested now.
Yeah, so it has that kind of like.
I'm gonna just because I trust Yugi, I'm gonna put it as an A.
There you go.
All right.
I agree.
But we don't know enough about it to vote it as the GOAT. So.
Yeah, I know.
It seems like it has a cool concept. I'm
Okay.
looking at images. I could see why someone who's into zombies would like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, S tier. Which one of these has to be the GOAT?
One has to be the GOAT. Oh no.
I
don't want it to be Fortnite. I don't want it to be Fortnite just because I'm old and crotchety.
Okay, it's not Fortnite. It's not Fortnite. Now, I know what gets my vote though, but I don't want to influence anybody. So
okay, all right. Let me think here. Wait, what's the one between Fortnite and Resident Evil 4? What's that?
Half-Life Alyx. It just turned out it's really dark for some reason.
Yeah, I
the lettering.
Okay. Oh man. All right. So
can I zoom it in?
Now I can see it.
See a little, there you can see it. Yeah. Now, look, so, I would say the original Call of Duty, but it sounds to me like Resident Evil 4, even though I haven't played it. From the feedback I've gotten from you guys, it sounds like that should be the GOAT.
I'm torn, and I
those are so different from one another.
Mm.
Like one is single player experience, and one is like it can be single player, but it's really meant to be, I think, multiplayer.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go ahead and remove. I'm gonna drop Half-Life Alyx from it. I know that sounds crazy.
I can't even believe this is happening right now. Before Saints and Sinners.
So I'm gonna. It's not gonna like. Alyx can't be GOAT because it's not a fully dedicated zombie game.
Okay.
So I'm gonna remove that. So it's for me. It's between RE4 and Saints and Sinners.
But what's the story in Resident Evil 4? I've never watched any of the movies or played any of the games. So is it really zombies?
What's the
are they infected?
Yeah,
the story.
Yeah, sorry, complete newbie with Resident Evil. Never watched any of the movies or played any of them. So
the problem with the Resident Evil stories is that there are kind of like there's like several different like bioweapon. Actually, the original Resident Evil was called Bioweapon or Bio.
Yeah, okay.
Was it Biohazard or Bioweapon?
Biohazard. Biohazard. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
still called that in Japan. That's what it's called.
Exactly. So it was originally called Biohazard. So it's really about like some type of biochemical warfare, like reanimating dead people or mutating them or whatever.
Okay.
So that's kind of where it always comes from. So it's always like a spin-off. Every Resident Evil is like a spin-off of something happening, tying back to the Umbrella Company who started some of this stuff and someone trying to do something new with these like mutations and whatnot.
Okay.
So it's not just simply reanimation. It is like, if that was a criteria.
They're trying to evolve the human race into something new.
Yeah.
But it always turns out completely evil and terrible and awful.
Exactly. It just keeps getting worse every time they try it.
Okay.
So you end up with like reanimated people and monsters and all types of weird stuff because of these experiments.
Yeah. So in 4, the president's daughter gets kidnapped because they're trying to, I guess they're going to infect her and hoping she'll take it back into the White House and infect the president so they can control the president. So they put this parasite in her to control her, and then she's supposed to infect the president so that they can control the president of the United States to gain power. And you are an agent like from the Secret Service, and you are going in to look for her because there was a sighting of her in this like remote village in Spain.
Okay.
Spain, right?
The remote village. It's always a remote village somewhere.
And so you start there in the remote village, and then it turns into absolute chaos.
Yep. Because the people are very weird.
Yeah.
It's like the comments. I've heard a lot of comments of people watching horror movies. I don't watch a lot of horror movies, but even me, when the woman's alone in the home and she hears something outside, why go outside?
Yeah, it's like classic horror movie because like the protagonist is kind of like, hey, has anyone seen this girl? Hello, he's constantly walking into the darkness, asking questions.
No, sure.
Yeah. Well, so we're down to COD Zombies, Resident Evil 4, and Saints and Sinners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 4 is my vote.
Yeah, look, I would say I only know COD Zombies. I don't know Resident Evil 4, but from the feedback you guys have been given, I'd give my vote to Resident Evil 4. It sounds better than COD Zombies.
Well, again, it's only better if you want a single player adventure. It had a multiplayer mode that was separate. It was just like a multiplayer battle mode.
Yeah,
but you couldn't play through the game that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, I will say I'd give it more playability. In that way, at least. You're going to put more hours into it.
I'll say I had more fun playing Resident Evil 4 than Saints and Sinners. And for that reason, it wins over Saints and Sinners.
It's like the only zombie game that I keep coming back to.
Right. Yeah. I've played it so many times. I never disliked it. I even played the remake, and I played that. I played that on Xbox, and then I played it again on iPad because they released it on iPad OS or whatever. Yeah. I can't stop playing it. So.
And you know what? This is not an official list. We're just having fun. So
this is just a Halloween fun thing.
The winner tonight of goated zombie game is Resident Evil 4. How about that?
Well done.
Yeah.
Congrats.
We get.
Hey.
All right. Cool. Well, I'm glad we figured that out. Solved that problem. An age-old question.
Yeah, one less thing to solve tonight.
Yeah.
So the whole thing with zombies, man, is that I think that one of the fascinating things about zombies is something that I think we're all kind of after, right? And that's that. And it's part of the premise of even a lot of these games is we're after eternal life. Like we want to make sure that we continue on, that we live on. And so a lot of times when I'm playing these games, I'm thinking about how blessed I am to know Jesus and to have eternal life in Jesus Christ. And so I just thought, man, it would be really fun if we just kind of like talked about that for a minute, because in a way, and there was an old song written a long time ago, like back in the 90s, about this called Some Kind of Zombie. In a way, like Christians are some kind of zombie. And
I was going to mention that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because we were dead in our sins, the Bible says, and we were raised to life in Christ. And so I don't know, like, how comfortable you guys are sharing your stories, but if we could share the nutshell, 2-minute version of our testimonies, I think that would be really cool to do tonight.
No, absolutely.
And I definitely don't mind starting to give you guys time to think or whatever. But man, I'm just so grateful to have been afforded the opportunity to learn about Jesus at a young age, and I want other people to know about him too. And so I just want to talk about it for a few minutes, if that's okay with y'all.
No problem.
Yeah, 100%.
I remember there's a very like distinct moment in my childhood when I was in it was like I think the summer before I went into 4th grade, and it's when I really first realized that, you know what, God is real. And I was at church with my mom. I think she was helping set up for some kind of church event, and there weren't any other kids there, and I was like bored. So I was in the sanctuary, which is the big room where we all would gather and worship, and up above was this the sound room, like where they had the soundboard and stuff. And in front of that they had like these slats, like these wood slats, like a fence almost, sort of, with a little bit of space in between there. And I had found this ball in like the nursery, and I was just like throwing it up in the air and catching it because I didn't have anything else to do. I was like super bored. But I knew that the ball wasn't for kids, like grown kids. The ball was for the kids in the nursery, and I probably shouldn't be playing with it, but I was anyway. And then suddenly I threw it up, and I got the ball stuck between two of the slats, and I couldn't reach up there and get it. You know, I went and I was like, oh no, I'm going to be in trouble. Like, I don't even know if I'm supposed to be in this room right now. I don't think I'm supposed to have this ball right now. And I don't want my mom to find out that I got this thing stuck up there, and now the kids are going to be crying because we don't have a ball to play with on Sunday morning or whatever. So, you know, all those, it's just like kid thoughts. Like, I don't think anybody would have really been all that upset because other people could reach it. But I found a chair, I snuck a chair in there and got up in the chair. I was like, no, I'm still like a couple feet away. Like, right. I'm like 3 feet away still. Couldn't get it. So suddenly I remembered my mom had brought a yardstick and it was in the trunk of the car. So I left the church building. Also probably wasn't supposed to do that. Went to the car, got the yardstick, brought the yardstick in, but our yardstick was already like cracked. It was being held together by Scotch tape. And I barely am able to get the tip of the yardstick to touch the ball. I'm trying to pry it out from between the bars. And it's bending like crazy. And I'm like, this thing is about to snap in half the rest of the way. And then I'm for sure going to be in trouble because the ball's still stuck and the yardstick's broken and everything is over. Like, I'm dead meat, you know? And and then I just had this thought, like, I should pray about this. And so I stopped. And this was before I was a Christian. I had not surrendered my life to Christ. That He was not the Lord and Savior of my life. But I stopped and I prayed, God, can you help me? Can you pull me out of this mess? Can you help me get this ball down? And no joke, as soon as I prayed that, I had this thought, and it was so fast, like it was the perfect answer. And it was just this like still small voice that said, turn the yardstick this way. And I was like, that might work. And so I just got back up on the chair and I stuck the yardstick up there and I turned the yardstick, you know, this way, and I got the tip of it on the ball and I went bloop, and it popped right out. And I put the chair away. I put the yardstick back. I put the ball back. I don't think my mom knows to this day. And I just remember thinking in those moments, God's real. God just heard my prayer, and He just rescued me. And you know, it was physics, you know, but God created physics. It was, the thing bent too much when I had it this way, but when I had it this way, it didn't bend. So I was able to put enough pressure on the ball to get it out of there. Awesome. But I was not even in 4th grade. You know, I wasn't thinking about physics. I was just trying to not to get in trouble. And so that like really honestly changed a lot for me. And it was, I was a real shy kid, and I was afraid to talk to people about it and stuff, and really figure out what I needed to do. But I knew that I knew that God was real and that He cared about me, and I wanted Him to be a part of my life. And so, about a year and a half later, I asked Jesus to save me, and I just prayed. I was like, God, I know I've messed up. I know that I've sinned, and I know I don't deserve you, but I know that you love me, and would you please save me and be Lord of my life? And my life has been completely different ever since then.
Awesome.
All because of Him, and for the better, you know.
Yeah, sure.
That's great.
For me, are you done, Bo?
Yeah, I can be. Yeah, I can go on, but I can be done for right now.
Yeah, for me, I was at the sense in primary school. We call it primary school around here. So up to grade 7. So I always had the sense that because one good thing about South Africa is, especially during the time when I was growing up, is a very Christian nation. Most schools prayed during a whole opening and that type of thing. It was a very Christian-based education. So I always had the sense I'm supposed to read my Bible. I'm supposed to do this. And but we weren't church-going at that stage. So I remember visiting a friend, and they were Christians. And his dad asked me, "Why don't you guys go to church?" And I had a fright, So I don't know what to say. I know we're supposed to, and so I said, "No, my dad doesn't want us to go." That wasn't true. My dad had said if we ever wanted to go, we just need to tell him. But then when my dad came to pick me up, he asked my dad. So he was quite embarrassed. But that ended up us going to church, and we actually got saved there. It was a bit of a road. Didn't understand the concept initially. We had the church evangelism team come to visit our home, did a home visitation, and they did the sinner's prayer with us. But I think it was only a few years later when I really started realizing that the Lord is real, and having a relationship with Him is one of the best things you can have. Moments like those when you realize that God is real. He wants to be involved in your life. He's interested in what's happening with you. He wants to help you. He wants the best for you. So I remember having a moment like that when I was all grown up working. I was doing pulling cable for a company that we were installing two-way radio systems for at the airport, and I lost one of the pliers, and I know that I'm going to have to replace this thing, and it's going to be expensive. So I'm praying, Lord, help me find this thing. And immediately I get an idea that it's supposed to be up in one of these trays where we were pulling the cable through. And I know I looked there. I actually went up on the ladder and looked through the tray quite a few times. So the next day when we go there, I set up the ladder, thinking this might just be a waste of time. And as I climb up the ladder, it's right at the point where the plier is, underneath some of the cabling. So it's like exactly there. So just like, what are the chances, But I've had quite a few testimonies like that. But for me as well, the point of that song, something that I realized later on as well, is that you're always taught when you get saved in church, you're a sinner that is saved, so you're excused. You're kind of making it barely. That's one of the things in the church that I think we need to change, because it's not scripture based. You're saved by grace, which is all very true, and I'm thankful for that. That's something that I'm very thankful for, that I'm sure of, that His sacrifice is enough for me. It's not based on what I did; it's based on what He did, and because of that, I'm okay. I'm righteous. I'm His. So I'm very grateful for that God established that in me. But like I said, the thing is, I think a lot of the church teaches that you're barely making it. You've always, and we should always be grateful. But when you read what Scripture says, it says that when we get saved, we're a new creation. 2 Corinthians 5:17.
Mm-hmm.
There's a specific verse that says, "Count yourself dead indeed to sin," which is something I loved about that song of Audio Adrenaline. There's a piece of the lyrics that says, "I'm dead to sin, like some kind of zombie." And I think that's something we need to change in our church cultures. We're always so sin conscious. We're always thinking of, you're always sort of just short. Thank you, Lord, for saving me, but I'm not good enough, because I still mess up regularly. So, and that's not where we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be focusing on the new creation in us.
Interject there just for a second?
No, please.
I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I hear God's voice all the time or anything, but there have been a couple of instances where it was in my mind, but it was loud enough that it could have been audible, but it was in my mind, but they were words. It was an audible kind of response. And one of them was a time when God was calling me to something, and I said, "No, I'm not good enough." Like, I just flat out said, "No, I'm not good enough."
Yeah.
And his response was, "No, you're not, but I am."
Yeah.
And man, I'll carry that to my grave, because I need to hear that like every day.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not good enough, but I am. And he used his name in his response, like, because he's the I am, he's the great I am.
Yeah.
But he's also good enough, even and especially when I'm not. In fact, his power is perfected in our weakness.
Yeah.
So
that's what we should be focusing on.
Yeah.
If you're constantly focusing on the fact that you are not good enough, that I messed up again now, I just did it today, then you'll never really shine.
Yeah.
But if you focus on what he is, who he is, and what he's done in you, that just frees you up a whole lot, to be able to just be, be like he said, be what he said you are.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think on that note, Jaco, I mean, for me, one of the things that struck me the most, and I came from a pretty religious background. Like, my mom knew I was going to be baptized before I was even born, right? But one of the things that really struck me is, like, when I was growing up, I was really, I don't know if nerdy even makes sense. Like, what does that even mean? But like in high school, I just really wasn't like the coolest guy, right? And it's funny because actually my high school reunion was recently. I had too much going on to go, but as I thought about it, I was like, I really never connected with people from my high school, right? But I started going to a church that I still call my home church when I was about 11 or 12. And the people that I grew up with there, I feel so much more close to than the people in my high school. And I was already, like I said, I was already in the church. I was already baptized, but I think it was seeing the face of God through the community of people that really changed my life. And that reinforcement that you were just talking about, Jaco, of the reinforcement of counting our joy and not just our sins, and seeing that in a community it changed my life. It really did, because I don't know, like I was kind of a bookworm growing up, and like the kids in my high school were just into a lot of like, random things, and I just didn't fit in, it just wasn't me.
I can relate.
Yeah. And it as a 11, 12-year-old, head into middle school, and just kind of like feeling like there was like no place for me, and then finding that it was just Christ's way of tapping me on the shoulder and saying, "Hey, it's all right, kid, you'll be all right." and it just changed my outlook toward life in general. That there was something brighter, there was light.
I had a very similar experience because I got saved around 13 years old, so it was grade 7. No, started grade 6 actually. Sorry, grade 8. Yeah, so high school, secondary school, and landed in a class full of bullies. So church kind of became, and youth group became my safe space. So,
yeah. Youth group was great. You meet a lot of amazing people, with their hearts open. It's an amazing thing to see. Fortunately, I was like this height when I was 11, so I didn't get bullied too much. I was just abnormally tall, so that was another gift from God. It kept me protected.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's a good benefit. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and man, that's the great. Christ is kind of like, in some ways, the great equalizer, because he receives everyone who comes to him. It doesn't matter if you're nerdy or if you're a social outcast. It doesn't matter if you're the most popular person in your school or at work or whatever. Like, everybody can come to him, and he takes, again, going back to the whole zombie thing, he takes what's dead and he brings it to life, and it almost, in some poetic kind of way, makes sense, doesn't it? Because, man, I feel like everything that experiences real resurrection has to go through a burial first.
Yeah.
I mean, like the sun doesn't come up until it's dark, it has to go down before it can come up. Like, it's just like, right. I don't know. There's a pattern there that you can kind of look at how the world is and see that. Definitely. Like plants don't grow until other ones lose their seeds, and then new plants, and then new plants. Yeah, and then the seed has to be buried, and then new things, new life comes from that. But yeah, very, very grateful for the fact that Jesus raises the dead. And I wouldn't trade that for anything. So, loved hearing y'all's stories.
Agreed.
Very encouraging to hear that. I have 2 other quick things to talk about if y'all have 10 extra minutes.
Sure.
One is this announcement that we talked about earlier about Halo. The Halo campaign evolved. I'm not sure how I even feel about that name, y'all. Much less the fact that it is coming to PlayStation 5 day 1. I mean, this is if Xbox has a mascot, it's Master Chief.
It's Master Chief,
and Master Chief will now, moving forward, all Halo games will be on PlayStation 5. That is just so crazy. I mean, it would be like waking up one morning and finding that all future Mario games are going to be on PlayStation 5. I don't even know what I would do. That's just insane. It makes no sense to me. It's topsy-turvy. But that's how it's going to be. So we got that, and we got a gameplay look at it. I mean, it's completely remade, the first game, in Unreal Engine 5. Of course, it looks rather gorgeous, They said they rebuilt every asset from the game in Unreal Engine 5. And I'm sitting here watching it on my screen as if you can see it, and you can't. So here, look at this. How about that?
Yeah, it looks
but
good.
yeah, they rebuilt everything.
Yeah, looks amazing.
It just feels like we skipped into some strange timeline.
Alternate timeline.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Yeah.
I for one am excited though. I've been playing a mod of the original Combat Evolved in VR, and there's already a Unreal Engine VR injector.
That's true.
If this is built in UEVR, then playing this in VR is going to be insane.
Probably day one, if not, at least within the first week, it'll be ready to play in VR. That's true.
I'm sure someone's ready with it. Yeah.
Well, it's coming next year. It's just crazy to see that PlayStation logo at the end. You know,
it's so weird.
So weird.
Yeah.
It's truly like the end of an era, which brings me to my next point, which is what GameStop posted. That's that same day. Say what you want, but we've outlived the console wars, is what they said. Say what you want, but we've outlived the console wars. And it kind of seems like they're right about that.
Yeah, that's a statement. You know, something I was just having a conversation earlier today with a buddy of mine, and I was talking about PC. And for the longest time, because like older gamers who saw 8-bit and 16-bit background music.
Yes.
But gamers who saw 8-bit, 16-bit are still looking for like this, like what game looks the best, or what game, you know, is bringing the next innovation, you know, and things like that. But I wonder if the reason the console wars died off is because the new generation of gamer isn't looking for a box to deliver the experience. Like they just care about the games in general. I for one, I feel like the console wars gave the gamer, you know, a benefit, because every, you know, manufacturer or distributor
trying to one up the other one.
Yeah, exactly. So we got great things because of that. So I don't know what this ubiquitous landscape is going to do, but
hang on just a second. How does this shot make you feel? Not this one, the next one. This one right here, where he throws this grenade. How does that make you feel right there?
Yeah.
He is way too close to have not taken damage from that.
No splash damage whatsoever.
None at all, right? That's nuts. Okay,
I hope that was just trailer engine stuff, maybe.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
You need to be afraid when they're running at you with that
sticky
grenade on them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if like we were talking about this on a previous episode of the save state. We were talking about how, like, you know, kids today aren't really chasing graphics. They just want to play it, you know, like, you know, the Fortnite group, or even like the most played game on Quest is Gorilla Tag. Has terrible graphics. It's
awful
stuff. It's an awful game.
It's truly terrible to look at. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, if the one thing that we've seen over the years with console wars is one console doing a little bit better, adding more players to the multiplayer, adding more textures, or being the most impressive hack and slash game. PlayStation has always held that crown. But it was always something about the games that were like unique, and it works on this console. Now we're losing that, which is weird.
I think there's two things. This is like a multi-layered thing. How we got to this point, for sure. Like, we can't solve this in 5 minutes or explain it in 5 minutes, but I think there are a couple of things that I don't really hear people talking about. One is the shift from hardware being unique to the brand, to the like Xbox One, PS4 generation. They were basically the same machine. And the Series X and the PS5 are basically the same machine. There's nothing unique about them. You know, they're using the same architecture and the same chips. And so there's that I think decreases, like it makes it easier on third-party developers to port their game to both, but it also makes it where, man, it's not like the Super Nintendo and the Genesis, which were totally different systems, and they looked different. They had their own like vibe, and you did have arguments on the playground about which one had better graphics, you know, and you really, you're to do that with PS5 and Series X. It's like, well, on this game, PlayStation 5 gets 60 frames, and the Xbox Series X drops down to 58 sometimes. And like, it's and then on this game, on this game though, the Series X gets 60 and the PS5 drops down to 57. What about that? Ooh, no, there's nothing there. Like,
there's nothing there.
Yeah, you know,
it's weird too.
That's part of it.
Yeah, that's definitely part of it, Bo. I feel like they eventually were going to, because of that, they were going to lose the ability to basically wage one consumer against the other with those like minuscule differences, right? Like it just wasn't going to last forever.
And then on top of that, you have kids now who, like, you know, at age 1 or 2 are being given their parents' phone and they're learning to game on a touchscreen.
Yeah.
And that's and then they get an iPad when they're 4 or 5 or whatever, and or a Fire tablet or whatever it is that your family gets, you know.
Right.
And so you learn to game without even a controller. You don't have a box, you have a tablet. And that's a whole different, I mean, a lot of the games that my kids play, they didn't play them when they were that young, but they play now. So a lot of them are they love Sasquatch on Apple Arcade. They love it. They were both playing it today. They become like mayor of the town, and they have their own islands and stuff. Like, it's insane stuff that they've done.
Yeah.
And it's all touch based. So, you know, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree with you. My son's currently playing a Roblox mod called Steal a Brain Rot. So it's this endless upgrader. We've got these different kinds of creatures, almost like Pokemon, from what I can gather. And each of them give you different levels of cash generation, so you can upgrade or merge or evolve. And it's terrible graphics, very basic gameplay concept, you know, but it's very popular among the kids here at this stage. So it seems like if you know, to try and one up for Microsoft to try and one up PlayStation the whole time on those very minuscule improvements, it seems like a more strategic move for them to completely change the script. So I get that from a business point of view, but I agree with the fact that it really takes away a lot, takes away competitiveness, and the fact that, you know, you had certain titles on certain consoles.
Well, I've made it really clear how I feel about it. I don't like it at all, and I think they need to go back to having exclusives, but they're not going to, because they don't care what I think. And it probably is too early to tell exactly the effect that this will have on the industry as a whole, seeing as, you know, when they're saying Halo's coming everywhere, they are essentially saying we have no exclusives. We have no exclusives anymore.
Right.
And we will never have exclusives again. That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
So
they gave up their mascot.
Yeah, it's going to change things. It's just too early to tell how it's going to change things. But GameStop released this as well the other day. It's supposed to be funny, I think, but so they declare the console wars over, and then they have this whole post here. And they talk about for the past 2 decades, the global gaming community has been engaged in an ongoing, increasingly petty conflict known as the console wars, and it has been increasingly petty in a lot of ways, but it has gone on longer than 2 decades also. I don't know where they are getting their information, but I don't remember a time when there weren't people arguing about what console was the best. It at least for sure goes back to the early 90s, which is more than 2 decades, but I digress. Whereas said conflict originated in the early 2000s, again, false, with the release of Halo Combat Evolved as an Xbox exclusive title, whereas Halo Campaign Evolved is officially coming to PlayStation in 2026 with cross-platform play. That's crazy too. That's crazy. Therefore, GameStop, acting under its authority as a neutral entity and the world's retail gaming and trade-in destination, hereby declares the official cessation of the console wars. All claims of exclusivity are hereby dissolved. Console loyalists are instructed to cease hostilities, disband militias, and enjoy this new era of gaming. GameStop will continue to operate as a demilitarized zone, offering hardware, accessories, and trade-ins to combatants on all sides. Power to the players.
That's awesome. Very good marketing strategy. Eh?
Yeah, it really is funny. It was well done. Well played. Yeah, that's all I have to say about it, I guess. It's like I said, the end of an era.
Yeah.
Can you believe it, eh?
It's going to be a slow bleed, though. It's kind of like having like a rival football team, but then like your city's football team left, but like your buddy still has his team, but you don't have one anymore.
Yeah.
So it's gonna take some time to kind of level out before you kind of stop arguing about it. But yeah.
No, agreed. But I mean, I don't know if I'll ever stop thinking of Master Chief as Microsoft or Xbox. Eh?
Yeah.
I mean, even if it's on PlayStation, it's going to remind you.
You might, but think of the kid who's 5 right now.
Yeah, obviously.
And then grows up with it on PlayStation. They're not going to know.
Yeah. No, I guess so. Eh?
Yeah.
I guess
maybe that's
You're right.
Maybe that's Microsoft's long play. Is that like just we want to be ubiquitous. We want to be everywhere. We don't want to segment it. We'll just be everywhere type of thing. I don't know.
It's kind of it's an iPod type of moment type of thing as a strategy. It's a completely different way of approaching the industry. So maybe they're trying that type of approach instead of just.
If you expand, if you try not to be angry for just like 1 second, which we all are, but if you try not to be angry for a second and you think about it and you say, okay, well, what does this look like, some years down the road? Like, what does PlayStation look like to say, hey, we made a game, but you can only play it if you buy our box? And does that become like the unpopular thing versus just play it anywhere?
Which is part of their strategy, I guess. I mean, for me, sorry guys, I don't have the emotion you guys have around this because I went from NES to PC a lot of years later, and PC for me was just I can just play everything with a lot more that I could do with it than a console. So I've always loved PC above consoles, but I get the pick up and play attraction that consoles have.
Yeah, I have a close buddy who's a big Xbox fan, and he likes pick up and play. He's had PCs, and he knows that PCs are graphically superior and things like that. But he just really loves. He's a huge Xbox fan, and he loved the console experience. He's just bummed now that the console he's kind of called his his favorite.
His own, I get that.
Yeah, it's kind of dissolving. It's weird for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is weird. And I think that part of their strategy definitely is that they want to be everywhere because they think they'll make more money that way. And their next console is rumored to be more like a PC than a console, but a PC built with your TV in mind. Because they know, I think they know that people like the convenience of a console. You don't have to mess with the settings, and everything's already optimized, and it's just less frustrating. It just is less frustrating to play on a console. But I think the other thing that they realize is that I don't think Sony's ever going to be like, yeah, we're also developing this for Xbox. I don't know that they're ever going to get to that spot.
I don't think so either.
But what they are doing more and more is they are porting more of their games to PC. At which point, my Xbox's strategy is just that, hey, we're a PC, so we're going to get all your games anyway, whether you want them to come here or not. And I kind of think that's what's happening here. Is they're trying to find a way. Because they were losing, and they've been losing for the last decade. They've been slowly, the numbers have been going down, trending down, pretty much since the Xbox One was revealed, and maybe even a little bit before that.
Yeah.
So, anyway, yeah, it's definitely a sad time for me because I do like Xbox a lot. I've always liked the name. I've always thought it was the coolest. Like, I'm a big Nintendo guy. I've had like pretty much every Nintendo console, but I've always thought Xbox had the coolest name.
Agreed.
Yeah. It was the coolest name, and not only that, like I know PlayStation had like free online play, and then like Xbox had Xbox Live, which was paid. But way back then, when that first started, because it was paid, for me, Xbox always had better. It had a better experience. It was just like a little bit more polished than PlayStation, like all along for several decades, before it kind of caught up, especially after, PlayStation went paid and things, the technology caught up. But it just, Xbox had this kind of premium experience that I always loved over PlayStation.
Yeah. Well, the next Xbox might also be a premium experience, but it's probably going to cost a premium price. So
that's going to be a challenge. It's like, how do you convince someone to buy it and not a PC? It's going to be weird.
It is going to be very weird, and I think that it's going to hinge on, can you pick up a controller and not need a mouse and keyboard to operate this?
Right.
Can I hook this up to my TV and play it like an Xbox? And that's what they seem to be working towards with the whole. I can't remember what they're calling it right now, but what they did with the Xbox, the Asus Ally X Xbox handheld, where they've kind of scaled back Windows and made it a more console-like experience. Whatever they've named that, I can't remember. It seems like that's the direction they're headed in, to be able to do that.
No, absolutely.
And even their new program with the Play Anywhere, that they're putting all their games into this Play Anywhere program now, that where you buy them once and you can play them on Xbox or on PC. That's another move they're making. I don't know how they get third party games to buy into that concept exactly, but there's a few games that are in it that are third party.
I'm wondering, are you going to be able to play it on your phone? Is that the idea?
Yeah, that's part of the Play Anywhere. You have to stream it right now to your phone over the cloud, but that is part of the idea there. Yeah.
Are they going to scale down the graphics to that point? But I mean, some of the newer Snapdragon chips anyway are pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, if you're streaming it, it's not. It doesn't.
It's not a problem.
Phone.
Yeah.
It's not on. It's not on device. Yeah, I've played some on iPad, streaming, and of course on Quest. I've streamed Xbox games there and whatnot. And I mean, it works. Not everybody's going to have the download speed that they need to play it, so it's not going to be like a universal thing. But it does work. I don't know.
I think it works for some things a lot better than others.
Yeah.
Like if you need some like really precise timing and some parrying, in a game, or if it's like a competitive shooter, like it doesn't work as well for those things.
And you have to have such an optimized system. Like you have to have like really, really high speed between the device you're playing on and the router you're getting the signal on. It's just like there's a lot of, and then you also have to have high up and down speeds on your ISP. So it's like a very small group of people who can really get that like top tier experience.
Yeah. For the cloud. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that about wraps it up, I think, for episode 46 of the Save State.
46, man.
46.
It's middle age now.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It's having a birthday with me next month, 46.
There you go. This is the only live one I've done in the month of October, but I'm glad we got to do this one together. The last couple have been pre-recorded. I actually had this awesome opportunity to talk to some game developers and do a couple of interviews, and I actually have another one lined up for this Thursday morning. So I'll get that. That'll be episode 47. I'll get that one lightly edited and out pretty soon. But I did an interview with one of the developers on the game Spatial Ops, which is a VR game. Actually, it's an MR game, really. Very cool game. That was a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun. And then I just did one with a guy named Juan Lamb, and he built a game called Galactic Traffic Control. And that guy was a really cool guy. He wanted to be a professor of medieval literature, and his journey went from that to VR development. So it's a really interesting story, I think. Yeah. And and he was a cool guy to talk to. And then this next one coming up, just to promo it a little bit, is with the creator of the game. Jason, you would know this one, Cubism.
Nice.
Guy who made Cubism. He's cool. About to come out with a new game. And so he's going to be on the show next episode talking about Cubism and his new game that's coming out here in the next couple of weeks. So, I'm really excited about it. But we'll be back live at some point in November. And appreciate everybody watching tonight. Go check out these guys on their channels. Yako at the Tech Update and Jason at the Construct. I'll have them linked in the description. Definitely check them out. Subscribe, watch their content. It's awesome. Thoroughly enjoy it. Y'all have any closing thoughts before we sign off here? You want to plug anything of your own?
I'm good. Thanks. At this stage.
Oh, I'm going to go cry about Xbox after we get off
here. Oh, man.
Tears.
I'm going to DoorDash you a box of Kleenex, okay, man?
Right.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Stay kind and encouraging out there. We will catch you on the flippity flip. See ya.
Keep on.